Greetings, grasshoppers. Welcome to the Bot Signal. My name is RJ Redden. And if you don't know me, entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their marketing message because most feel like they're shouting into a black hole or they're a carbon copy of everybody else. And many have a lot of trouble getting traction online. So I create epic experiences that get people to click that button, connect with you, and convert like crazy. Bottom line, I am on a mission to motivate 1 million people to change their marketing. Today, we're starting with you. So, I have a little topic this morning. If you have interest in ever maybe getting into this type of career, or if you're interested in doing it for yourself or starting an agency or whatever, I want to tell you today what kind of skills you need to be a great chatbot builder. And let me tell you, it's not the normal set of marketing skills. When you think of marketing people, it's the people playing pool in the office and making paper airplanes and the creative off the wall people who have at least 6 games at their desk and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to say that chatbots really do benefit from that creative side, but there needs to be a technical side as well. Now, red alert for a disclaimer, and this disclaimer is that this is all based on my experience as a chatbot builder and building an agency. This is all my experience. So your mileage may vary. Okay, disclaimer over. So, also, one thing I want to mention is that I'm about to mention a number of skills here. You yourself do not have to have all of these. You can partner with another human who has maybe the other half of the things that you're missing. Make sure that you and your partner communicate well. Make sure that you both have the same vision of where chatbots are going. Make sure that that your communication systems are absolutely set up. If you can do that before you start work, more power to you, my friends. So let's talk about this in a context of left brain and a right brain. Hey, Neil, can I get world domination by building bots? Yes, you can. I'm on my way. Neil, I need to talk to you and catch up anyway, my friend. So good to see you today. So let's talk about this in a left brain, right brain context, because I feel like that really kind of separates the skill sets that you need. Every time I have gone in the past for one of those left brain, right brain tests, I end up being 50-50 on the left and 50-50 on the left and right, or 49-51, or so close it doesn't count. I have an odd brain. Now, it's not odd. It's just most people lean toward more creative skills or more analytical skills. I'm right down that middle, baby. And for me, that has really added to my particular style of writing chatbots and starting an agency and getting stuff out there, because I can look at the analytics part of it and understand it. And I can also dive into my creative self when it comes to creating avatars and copywriting and all of that for chatbots. So again, if you are one of those people that lean way to the left with the analytics or lean way to the right with the creativity, fantastic. You can still do this. You just need a buddy who can do the other half of it. So right brain skills that really help you in this type of career. If first of all, it's just creativity in general. It is creating something out of thin air. Why? Because chatbots are super freaking new. I've been working on them for 3 years. Most of the time, people's experience in that first couple of years was with Facebook Messenger. We've now moved on to putting bots on people's own websites for a variety of reasons. See just about any of my past shows for all those reasons, or just connect with me and I'll talk to you about it. But now that I've moved on to putting chatbots on people's websites, the creativity that I'm allowed is so much more than it was. It's literally a blank canvas when you start, and you can put anything on that canvas to tell your story or to tell your client's story. Video, audio, images, GIFs, texts, PDFs. You can go get information from other pieces of software. You can do just about anything. It's Bob Ross time, babies. And we're going to start out with several colors on my palette, and they're going to run across the bottom of the screen. No, they're not. I'm kidding you. I'm doing my best Bob Ross. I really need a wig for that. So I'll get one. Anyway, so you need the creativity. You need that moment where you can stare at all the colors on your palette and go, trees. Gonna paint some trees today. Trees are gonna tell my customer's story. Trees are gonna tell my story, my client's story. You need that kind of creativity. Also, one of the things that I'm always doing for my new clients is we create that avatar. We create the bot avatar. We create the character that is going to come into people's pockets and welcome them into your world. That creativity it's one of the best things out there. It's some of the most fun times that I have with my clients. A lot of my clients are coaches, trainers, speakers, authors, and most of them choose to have an avatar that reflects themselves. And clients giggle when we present their avatars. They love seeing that digital version of themselves that can pop up and answer questions or deliver service or give some accountability for something. People absolutely love it when we create those avatars. And so doing that, being able to kind of step in that avatar's shoes and see things from their angle and tell stories from that angle, that is another piece of the puzzle that has been really, really important in my career. It sounds like I wear a suit. I don't. I wear Baby Yoda. See, hold on. Wait a sec. Boop. There he is. Anyway, so in my career path, it's been hugely important having the creativity develop an avatar. And again, sometimes the avatar has to be developed out of thin air. Sometimes what you have to do, because sometimes people don't want their personality reflected, they like some other character and they want to kind of build that. So sometimes you have to create it from the brand itself. If that person is just starting out, then maybe they don't have a whole lot in place yet. So being able to create stuff out of thin air, great. If you are a storyteller, again, yes, you need that capability. I was talking to a self-identified storyteller about a week ago, and what a great experience. Because here it is. Marketing is educating. You're educating people about your products and your services. You're educating people. You're saying, hey, you know that pain you're in right now? This whole thing that I have set up over here could totally solve that. And here's how. Whenever you're doing a here's how, you're educating. What's the best way to educate somebody? Storytelling. Let's dig into why that is. We're really getting in deep. We're only in a couple of minutes here. We're really deep today. Storytelling, the reason why it's important is if you give somebody a piece of knowledge, and they don't have a context to put that knowledge into, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Deaf ears, people. If I told you 56, what would that mean to you right now? Nothing. Nothing. But if I said that 56 is the sum of 50 plus 6, it would mean something to you. If I said I had 56 people on my last webinar, that would mean something completely different to you. So storytelling allows us all to give a context to basically, here's how I think about it in my head, people. I think about it as somebody sitting on a couch. The couch is the context. That's where your story comes in. That piece of knowledge, that thing that you want to educate people about, the one thing you want them to learn, that's the person sitting on the couch. If you're dropping knowledge and you don't have context around it, it is a tree falling in the woods. Storytelling is a huge, huge component in chatbot writing. Now, maybe you want to write the kind of chatbots that sound like a robot. In that case, ignore that advice. But to me, this is why my bots are so successful. All right. Right-brained activity. We've covered that a bit. We've talked about creativity. We've talked about storytelling, how important those are. Brainstorming with your client. Sometimes people get on the phone with me and they tell me, this is the worst problem in my business right now. Can a chatbot solve that? My answer to that is usually yes. Now, sometimes it's no, but most of the time it's yes. But I need to spend some time with that person brainstorming about how they run their business right now. Where seems to be the disconnect? How can I take that disconnect and turn it into an opportunity for stellar engagement with their people? Whether those people are pre-clients or whether they've already bought from you, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because bots serve both sides of the business. So let me sum up so far. Right brain skills that you need: creativity, brainstorming, storytelling. I consider those non-negotiable. Left brain skills that you need. And I know that a lot of, to right-brained people, the left brain skills are very boring. This is the admin analytics side of your brain. This is, and I'm not going to talk about code because I don't do code. I have someone I call when I need some code done. You know that I do, because that is just not my interest. I'm not talking about your left brain having to code things. What I'm talking about is, does your brain understand and grasp if-then relationships? Do you understand a decision tree? Most people do. Most people do. You're going through a decision tree right now in your head if you're watching this. You're deciding, is this something, you're asking your brain these questions. Is this something I'm going to get value of? Obviously, yes, if you're still on. So then if yes, then we continue to listen to the show. If no, then you're going to go do something else. Decision trees, when it boiled down to their very simplest form, do you understand how everything that we see and experience runs upon those decision trees? If you can grasp that, if you can think about that, if you can see patterns in people's decisions, you are well on your way with the analytics side of all of this. You're well on your way, because really, it's all about people's decisions. So the first time I went to the Marketer's Cruise, which, by the way, if you want to go to the Marketer's Cruise, you should. The boat is still sailing in January, baby, and this Cape is going to be on it. Talk to me about that if you're interested. But when I first went to the Marketer's Cruise, I talked to a guy who has been marketing 30 years and just had so much knowledge to drop on me that day. It was really an awesome experience. I was wandering around the parking lot in Mexico looking for a t-shirt for my girl. That's all I was doing. I came back to the boat, and this guy was standing there. He was on the Marketers Cruise. We started chatting. These are how the things happen on the Marketers Cruise. He took me upstairs. We had a sit down in the one of the parts of the ship. I think it was next to the casino or something. And he talked to me about how most people use demographic information. It was really, I believe his name was George. I'm going to have to look this one up. He talked to me about how people use demographic information. And he said most people will collect demographic information. Where does a person live? How much education do they have? How old are they? Blah, 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 blah. And they make decisions based on that. They make the decisions on their target market based on all of these demographics. Well, the really important question is, why did they choose to live where they live? Why did they choose to do what they do for a living? Why did they choose these things? That is, to me, that was like a moment in time. It was like, oh, that's why I've been missing the mark, because I'm not thinking about why. What are the choices that people make that put them in the situations that they're in? So, recognition of the if-then decision tree inherent in everything, vital if you want to be a chatbot builder, because then it will teach you a little bit about the human behavior, and it will also teach you kind of how these chatbots really work at the heart, at the essence. That is how they work, is if then. If somebody does this, then I will do this. If somebody presses this button, then the computer will take this path and serve them up this side of the conversation. Absolutely vital. And of course, tech knowledge. This is something that I teach in classes. If you don't have that and you want to take a shortcut, let me know. But just a general knowledge of how computers work. And, of course, I started really small, everybody. I started on ManyChat. I was on that for a year and a half, 2 years before I started switching out and growing to a different platform. But I started slow. I started with my own stuff. I experimented on me first. And that is another skill that you need. And I don't know whether this is a left brain or a right brain, honestly, but the willingness to experiment, the willingness to get it wrong lots of times before you get it right. Why is it called WD-40, people? Because 39 times their water displacement formula didn't work. True, look it up. Promise. All right, my friends, the willingness to experiment, the willingness to get it wrong, the willingness to run a thing and go, did that work right? Is that cool? The willingness to ask a friend to say, hey, could you click this button and tell me what happens? That, if you are basic starting out, please have that skill. Please have that patience. Technology doesn't always work right. We had a thing yesterday where some things in our system were not working right. And we had to deal with a bunch of things all at once. Team and I just tackled it. We put our heads down and we just one by one, right? That's what you do. But you have to be able to have the patience to work through that. The more you build chatbots, the more complicated systems you will build. The more you will take that chatbot and you'll connect it out. You'll connect it out to somebody's shopping cart system. You'll connect it out to somebody's CRM. You'll connect it out to their social media. I've learned how to do that recently. The more places you have that bot connecting out, the more things that can go wrong. A healthy amount of patience, a healthy amount of willingness to experiment and get it wrong, because that's how things are done. That's how new things happen, my friends, is the willingness to experiment, the willingness to get it wrong. Get egg on your own face. Don't get it on your client's face. Don't experiment with them. Experiment with you. But this is the way, as the Mandalorian would say. This is the way. This is the way we create new things. Chatbots are a new thing in the universe. They are, the things that we're doing with chatbots right now, I have never seen before, and it's only going to expand. Chatbots, tiny future prediction right here, but it's going to get into voice control at some point. Because a lot of things are starting to be voice controlled in our world. Chatbots are going to be the same thing, obviously, and a whole lot of cool things are going to happen in the future. So, my friends, if you want to get into doing what I do, you absolutely can. You need more skills. I mean, you need the skills that I've outlined right here. Again, if you don't have those skills, if you're not a left brain, right brain person like I am, totally fine. Find a buddy. Find a buddy that wants to do what you do, that has the skills that you don't have, and partner with them. Perfect. I've seen it where we've got one person writing the copy and developing the character and doing the creative side, and one person making it all happen, doing all the technical side. Absolutely. Totally works over and over again. You've got to align with that person, and that's another discussion. But if you don't have all these skills, you don't have to have all these skills. If your team, you and somebody else together, if your team has the skills, you'd be just fine. So, my friends, that is the end of the rant today. Inconceivable. I know, inconceivable, but the show does have to end sometime. Thanks for coming by. It's been a whirlwind of fun. It always is. And tomorrow you can catch me right here at 10 o'clock Central Time, of course. Tomorrow is Friday, and we're going to be going over a thing called wins. So I'll see you in a bot. Sorry, I'm going to end the broadcast. There we go.